Welcome to IlliniFest. Thank you so much for being with us. Don't you just love those powerful and iconic U of I scenes and images? I do too. Brings back a lot of memories. Whether you're an alum, parent, faculty, staff, or friend, the next hour represents a journey we're all on together. So get ready to be entertained, impressed, and moved. The theme for this event is Powerful Together, and you'll know just what that's all about by the end of our time together. I'm Andrea Darlis, an alumna of the College of Media, so I've been a part of the U of I community for a long time now, and one thing I've witnessed over the years is when we do something, especially when it comes to impact and innovation, we go big. For example, YouTube is the platform that's made this event possible. Do you know it was created by U of I students? Check this out.
All right, so here we are in front of the elephants. Cool thing about these guys is that they have really long fronts, and that's cool. And that's pretty much all there is to say.
I feel like when I was younger, I kind of had the perception to do things that society wanted me to do. Since starting college, I've changed in many ways. I feel like one of the main things is that I'm actually being true to myself. The power of I to me means unity. Being a U of I student here just truly shows that we are connected, we are one.
The heart of Illinois innovation is having the courage to try to help not only those around us, but those we'll never even meet. It's why we developed a saliva-based COVID-19 test that produces rapid results and an app that helps protect our community. To us, moving forward has always meant moving forward together. So we'll keep innovating new ways to make the world a better place. After all, that's what the University of Illinois does best.
The response to COVID-19 on this campus has been incredible. Not only did we create a state-of-the-art saliva test in a matter of weeks, it was referred to as the gold standard and viewed as a national model of how to safely and quickly test students. This allowed students to successfully return to campus last fall and again after winter break for a hybrid model of in-person and online classes. By January, the campus had safely administered its 1 millionth saliva test, which was absolutely amazing. And the thing that made all of this possible, in addition to brilliance and determination, of course, was how everyone across campus was instantly ready to collaborate and solve these problems. That's one of the things that sets the U of I apart, and it's another example of how we are powerful together.
My name is Robin Baumgarten. I'm the morning news anchor at WGN TV in Chicago. I got a journalism degree from what is now the College of Media at the University of Illinois. I'm so proud that my daughter is at the University of Illinois, and she's so thrilled to be here. ILL. I.
Hey everyone, my name is Jeff Marquez, and I'm a graduate of the University of Illinois in Champaign, Urbana in 1998 with a degree in broadcast journalism. As part of what I love about that school is just how big it was and how every day you had a chance to meet somebody new who brought with them that same passion, energy, and enthusiasm that makes the U of I such a great place to both learn and experience life.
Hey there, Natalie Baumke here, a Fox 32 anchor and reporter. If it wasn't for U of I alumni, I wouldn't be here today.
Ryan Baker, College of Media, class of 91, and morning anchor now at CBS Chicago. Being part of a worldwide orange and blue family means everything to me. Love Illinois. I know you do too. Go Illini.
Hi, I'm City Clerk Anna Valencia, a proud alumni of University of Illinois Champaign-Urbana. You can get a global education for an affordable price and allowing a lot of first-generation college students like myself to come on campus and to thrive. And I'm Team Illini all the way.
Hi, I'm Mary Vandeveld Unseth, class of 83. I currently work at WGN Radio. I have for many years as a traffic reporter and anchor. U of I gave me a chance to be involved in so many things, and that's what I really loved about it. Happy Illini Days, everyone. ILL.
Hi everyone, my name is Sarah Jindra and I am the traffic reporter for the WGN Morning Show in Chicago, currently working from home. I'm also a 2004 graduate of the University of Illinois, and I'm here to tell you that I had an absolute blast in college. There are so many wonderful people at the University of Illinois, and I am still best friends with so many of the people I met. Good luck, everybody!
I actually applied to a lot of schools. I applied to like UC Davis and Berkeley, and I did get into those schools. But I think the program here just stood out to me the most. All the professors and all the people were really welcoming, so I just felt more at home.
The College of Aces is like its own small community that happens to just be on a larger campus. It feels a lot more like a family, and people actually care about you. All of the support you could ever need is here.
I do actually care, yeah. And maybe a big part of that is I remember what it was like to be a student here. What excites me about what I do personally is I have the opportunity to meet a lot of fantastic students and help them along their journey. I hope our students walk out of here with a fully actualized vision of themselves and what they're capable of. I hope they realize that they have the opportunity to make a change in the world, and the key to doing that is living their life intentionally and keeping that in the front of their mind.
I'm actually really proud of myself and where I've come from. ACES does such a good job at giving you opportunities to have scholarships, because if I didn't have those scholarships, I wouldn't be able to go to this school. My parents aren't able to financially support me.
My favorite part of working here and advising and teaching is actually student development. I love being able to help them say, okay, so now we know we don't like this, we do like this, so I think you should go talk to this professor, or I think you should go talk to that faculty member, to really help develop those skills and who they are, because ultimately that's what our goal is, right? Is for them to find where they fit.
One of the most important ways to make a difference in the world is to first understand the state of the world as it is. Those are very applied tools that we can bring you. Sometimes all it takes is just one class to be like, that's it, that's what I'm doing. I swear for some students you can just see it visually, and you're like, that's it, they know, like, let me help them get to where they want to be.
I honestly just want to say thank you to the College of Aces. It almost like brings me to tears, because like how I was freshman year to who I am now, they give you everything that you need to go out into the world.
My name is Brendan Morris, and I named a tree hopper after Lady Gaga, and her name is Kaikaya Gaga. Ever since Lady Gaga came onto the scene, and I've been studying tree hoppers since just before then, I was like, this is like the human version of a tree hopper. She's so outrageous. She's got these crazy, she wears these crazy clothes, crazy colors, spines, huge shoulder pads. And so I knew at some point I would name a tree hopper after her, and it was just a matter of when I would find one that I thought was particularly fitting. My top goal as a tree hopper taxonomist has always been and will always be to continue trying to push these bugs into the spotlight. I want my bugs to be famous and get them the attention that I feel that they deserve. They're these wacky, super diverse group of insects that are unlike any other bug that typically comes to mind when people think about insects. Pulling up a CNN article and seeing Gaga's face and my bug's face right next to it, and people are sharing it, and people are talking about how cute it looks, some people are talking about how it's not so cute, but I respond to them kindly. So it's just really nice to see this kind of outpouring of attention to a bug that was unknown for 30 years in a collection, and we still know nothing about its natural history. So I think it's hopeful that my continued studies of this insect will be well received and more valued by the public now that it's got more of a kind of a personal and cultural reference attached to it. Oh, this is hard. I guess I'll say Marry the Night, because that song got me through, has gotten and still does when I'm having low points in my graduate studies or just personal life. That song always gets me back up on my feet, and so I really love that song. And the video that's associated with it, I think it's all a beautiful sort of ode to the struggle that comes with chasing your passion.
Hey, welcome to Sesame Street and Hooper's Store. I'm enjoying an orange and blue milkshake. I've got my Illini scarf and jacket on, and let's just say the letter of the day today is I. So we're gearing up for season 50 of Sesame Street, where I'm the vocal music director, music editor, and one of many composers. I just want to thank the U of I for all the great experiences there and for my professors that guided me from Green Street, or technically West Nevada Street, to Sesame Street. And while my career veered from teaching music in the public schools, I technically still teach music to our incredibly talented young cast, which includes Elmo and Big Bird and Abby Cadabby.
Hey, did you call me Mr. Rudolph?
I sure did.
What's going on? Why are you dressed in orange and blue?
Well, I'm giving a tour of Sesame Street to the University of Illinois, where I went to school to learn about music.
Wow! Wait, to learn about music that you teach us? Is that where you learned that music is everywhere? And you taught us that we could even play a bicycle? That really cool song you wrote, what was it? Oh, Bike Shop with a Beat.
Yep, indeed.
That was so fun. Hey, what are those? Woo, they're so shiny.
Oh, those are my Emmys. There's Emmy, Alma Mater, Emmy.
Ooh, one of these things is not like the other. Hey, what'd you get the awards for?
Well, that's kind of a behind-the-scenes thing. Do you think maybe you could poof me to my office studio?
Anything for you, Mr. Rudolph. Let me get my wand and zippity-zap.
Okay, so here we are in my office studio. This is where I do all the vocal music editing on my Pro Tools system. We actually record all the vocals here in the vocal music booth. All the cast come in here and record. We've had celebrity singers in here as well. Audra McDonald, Alan Cummings, Macklemore was in here recording. And then just in the 10 years that I've been here, here's just a few of the incredible musical guests we've had on the show, which really is a testament to the full 50 years of music on Sesame Street. So this is kind of the boring stuff. I think we should go back to the steps of 1, 2, 3 Sesame Street. Abby? Okay, so we're back on the steps of 1, 2, 3 Sesame Street. Abby, did you know that the University of Illinois is over 150 years old?
Wow!
It's true.
Hey, did you play any music while you were there?
I sure did. I sang in the university chorus, I was a percussionist in the symphonic band, I was in the marching Illini drum line, and I actually wrote drill charts for the whole marching band that they performed on the field, over 300 musicians.
Wow!
We got to play in front of thousands of people at Memorial Stadium. That's where the Illini play football.
Wow! Hey, that's pretty cool. What is a Illini?
Illini? Well, that's what you call a person that went to Illinois. And we had a great chant. So what we do at the stadium is we chant I-L-L-I-N-I back and forth in the stadium. You want to try that?
Yeah, I do.
So I'll say I-L-L, and you say I-N-I.
I-N-I.
Right? So
okay.
I-L-L.
I-N-I.
I-L-L.
I-N-I.
I-L-L.
I-N-I.
That's the idea. Yeah. So thank you, University of Illinois.
Hey, Chancellor Jones, what are you doing?
I'm just decorating some black-eyed cookies.
Wow, your piping skills are pretty impressive, but looks like you're gonna be here for a while. Who are all these cookies for?
I'm gonna send one to each of our alumni just to show our appreciation. With the March Madness coming, which is a way to bring them all together.
That's really thoughtful, Chancellor, but you do know how many alums we have, right?
Of course I know. 475,000 are some of the most amazing people in this country, and we're very, very proud of each and every one of them.
Wow, we better pick up the pace. I'll help you out. Whew. We're gonna be here for a little while, I guess. But if you're looking for energy and inspiration, the dance department has plenty of both.
I think if I was to give advice to my younger self, it would be to take the chances you get in life, to take the opportunities you get thrown at you. Don't pass things up that might seem different than what you normally do. At U of I, I've had the chance to do so many things I never thought I'd do, but if I just hadn't taken an opportunity to do something, I wouldn't have gotten to where I am. So I think I'd say just no matter how difficult or how outside the box that opportunity might be, to always take that.
Pull up from 15 is good! He got it!
Are you all sitting out there wishing you could do some of that? I'd be happy just to be able to make a free throw. Our athletic teams are obviously great examples of what powerful together looks like. This next story about one of our amazing grad students shows a different side, one that I find so inspiring.
Hi, my name is Jose Rivera. I'm a grad student here at the Civil Engineering Department. I'm originally from Puerto Rico, from Matillo, Puerto Rico, coming from a family of my mom, Carmen Perez, that is a teacher, my dad, Julio Rivera, who is an electrician, and my brother, Carlos, who also studied engineering, but mechanical engineering. One day I was in my home, and my aunt came to me and told me, "Hey, Jose, why you have so much buildings and Legos about buildings and cities and so on? Why you don't study civil engineering?" I say, "What is that?" "I don't know, but you should check it out because I've seen that related to buildings." And that's when I started searching about civil engineering, and I really like it. When I applied to Illinois, one thing was I got accepted, but I didn't have any funding. But the Department of Civil Engineering gave me a visit. It gave me the opportunity to visit the department, paid by them, and gave me the chance to interview with the professors here. Something that you really don't see anywhere else. And here in the University of Illinois, you get the chance to become a better person. I will say that the most challenging moment in grad school was in September of 2017. That's when Hurricane Maria struck Puerto Rico. After the hurricane struck, communications went down, the power went down, only silence coming out from Puerto Rico. And you cannot hear your family or even try to call them to see if they are okay. That's when you really realize there's a moment that you cannot focus anymore in what you are working. It was really a challenge to try to continue every day working and try to pretend that everything was fine, trying to deliver, while at the same time you have this on the back of your mind. My advisor, he just said, "Jose, what do you need? What we can do to help them?" And you start realizing so many people here in the University of Illinois that they are next to you no matter what. You don't see those things when you apply to college. You realize that after you get here. I think that was the most rewarding thing that I could have seen here in civil engineering, in this department and in this university. After I finished grad school, I think I still have that goal of coming back home and becoming a professor. Is something that I really aspire to. Everything that we have learned here can go back and help Puerto Rico and get help back home to get ready for the next emergency, or to get ready to build a better infrastructure. And I hope that my research will come up with the next ideas to improve the quality of the infrastructure that maybe can prevent another crisis back home or anywhere else. And at the same time, we take that knowledge and share it with everyone to prevent that any catastrophe happen or any issue happen anywhere else.
A lot of times in life, people think like power is outside of them. I think power cultivates from within. It's something you have to realize is there. That power exists in all of us. Overall, my purpose is to serve others, and whether that's through an experience on the stage, giving people a new perspective and a new feeling, or simply giving someone some food that is hungry on the side of the street, I think just giving people something is my purpose in life.
Wow, there is so much talent on this campus. I just found out that the Black Chorus has been a part of our rich music tradition here for more than 50 years. It was actually founded in 1968 by 4 students. While I was watching them perform, I couldn't help but notice that a choir is such an amazing example of what it means to be powerful together. So I have to ask you, Chancellor Jones, what does powerful together at the University of Illinois mean to you?
Well, to me, Andrea, it's the power of I, which is the power of innovation, the power of this university to bring multiple disciplinary groups together to find solutions to some of the complex problems facing our society. A good example of that is what we were able to do with the saliva-based tests for COVID-19. And it's what we try to do each and every time our athletic program, our students, take to the field of quarter competition.
I love that. And knowing how inspired you are by the people on this campus, I'm pretty sure you're going to love the next 2 stories about people who overcame enormous challenges to become students here.
My name is Min Amity, and I am in the Masters of Social Work. My concentration is leadership and social change. I had a job with Business Career Services. For 9.5 years, I was in managing the career fairs. But on the back of my mind, I always wanted to go back to work on my master's degree. What really anchored my decision was of my being biracial. I was born during the Vietnam War, 1968. My mother told me the day that she went into labor, that I came to the war. It was the day when there was history book that it was called the Date Offensive. There was bombing and soldiers get hurt, civilians get hurt. And my mom was looking for shelter, looking for a hospital because she was in labor. Troops left Vietnam to go back to the United States was April 30th, 1975. I was 7 years old at that time. But slowly in school, my sister and I were bullied, just brutally, physical. They were throwing rocks at us, calling us names, and we didn't understand. I didn't understand what all that meant. And when I came home asking my mother, why are these kids and even teachers calling me names? And my mom had to sit me down and explain to me that because you're not 100% Vietnamese, you are biracial. Your father was an American soldier, and when the war ended, he went back. And she was doing her best to fight for me. And she was a single mom, and slowly I had to learn how to do that myself. And it getting to the point where she realized that I wasn't happy. Because if I get older, I may be pulled away from school and put into the military fighting the neighbor, the Laos, and there was another war going on. So she found a way to get my sister and I escape Vietnam. We were in the boat. Unfortunately, the first night we came out, we got hit by the storm. I mean, we get in at night and like a few hours later, we get hit by the storm. And a lot of screaming and crying and panic. The storm knocked down huge nets of food that they packed just in case for us to eat. Everything was gone. And the captain was in the back, he was knocked off as well. So we drifted aimlessly for 10 days. 27 children died. My sister and I were the only 2 kids that survived. By the time we got to United States was June 1983. I was 15 and my sister was 12 years old. And so we stay in this facility in Peoria where they house underage minors so they can find either a family to adopt you or foster you. And we were very fortunate to have my foster parents who are still my parents today. My foster mom and dad are from Champaign, and my dad is a retired professor in ACES. So that stemmed from there. That was slowly made the decision, social work is what I wanted to do. It's very versatile. You can do so much. I can volunteer, I can write policy, I can see something that's not working well, and we find a way to make the change. So when I chose this concentration, I think it was perfect for exactly what I was looking for. And so I went to the open house. Listening to what the program would do, I just knew it was the right one, and I'm in the right place totally.
I shouldn't be here today. Unlike many of my peers, I was not the kid who always wanted to be a doctor when I grew up. I overcame a family cycle of drug and alcohol abuse to be the first in my family to graduate from high school. Even then, I had no plans to attend college, and that's another reason why I shouldn't be here today. I enlisted with the Army to try to make the world a better place. My desire to save lives, rather than to take them, prompted me to become a bomb squad tech, and I served for 8 years as a bomb squad specialist. I met many service members who had made tremendous sacrifices, including one who had to receive a substantial amputation. Their persistence and recovery inspired my desire to combine medicine with engineering. But still, I shouldn't be here today. I met a fellow scholar who described the Carle, Illinois College of Medicine, and this discovery changed my life. After I leave, I plan to devote my career to helping those with traumatic injuries. I will continue serving my country throughout my residency as a physician innovator. I have overcome a cycle of drug abuse, dangerous explosives, and even chance. As an ambassador of the inaugural class, I couldn't be more proud to be here today.
There are so many new places and buildings on campus. In fact, right now, I'm standing in the Illinois Street Residence, better known as ISR, but this is a brand new state-of-the-art food court and student center. It's absolutely amazing. I also don't know if you've heard about the Siebel Center for Design. It's pretty new to campus, so you might not be familiar with it. This is its mission: to practice, model, and teach design thinking using human-centered design to reimagine our campus, community, and collective world. Their new building, which is right by the Art and Design building, is going to be an amazing collaboration space for everyone on campus. Let's take a peek.
What are we building for you at the new Siebel Center for Design at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign? Check it out. We'll have bright, airy classrooms for you to learn in or teach in, 9,000 square feet of dynamic and flexible collaboration space designed specifically to get you started on your creative journey, plus nearly 5,000 square feet of fabrication space, tools, and other equipment to help you get those ideas out of your head and into the world. There'll be a small but mighty amphitheater area for you to take in presentations and performances, or present and perform there yourself, and a multimedia studio for smaller scale audio and video production, maybe your podcast or your web series. Hungry? You might grab some beverages and snacks at our cafe. And remember, our kitchen space will be all about entrepreneurial food projects, maybe even yours. If you need inspiration, our 60-foot-long interactive gallery wall, curated by faculty and staff, will showcase the past, present, and future of multidisciplinary collaboration and innovation at UIUC. Or you could simply take in the beauty of our campus and sit out on our plaza. It might be where you get your next big idea. Can you see yourself at Siebel Center for Design? We certainly can. You belong here. Let's make this building come alive in 2021.
Probably see a couple of patients a day at the emergency department with kidney stones. I have had several women tell me that this hurts worse than labor.
What we're trying to understand on many different fronts is why some people get kidney stones and why some people don't.
I'd always, as a geologist, wondered, what's the geology of a kidney stone? The similarities between the human kidney and hot spring environments, such as those that occur in Yellowstone, are simply remarkable. Mayo is the kind of place where it's not a harebrained idea to have a geologist knock on the door.
Where nephrologists have worked most closely is understanding the physiology or how the stones develop.
I haven't ever met a rock that hasn't crystallized and dissolved and crystallized and dissolved and crystallized and dissolved. That kidney stone is a dynamic history of both crystal growth and crystal dissolving.
If we can figure out what's leading to the rock growing within us, we hopefully can interrupt that with either antibiotics or a drug that targets a specific protein that might be leading to the accumulation of rock.
I think it'll be a game changer really for kidney stones.
It's rare to get people like geologists and medical doctors to sit down and do something serious together in terms of some research. But when that happens, magic happens.
I'm Ana Rodriguez. I'm the Digitization Coordinator and Registrar of the Rare Book and Manuscript Library.
My name is Ruth Ann Mowry, and I am the Visiting Curator of Rare Books and Manuscripts.
What inspired me to pursue a career in museums and archives, I think it was my interest in preserving knowledge, my interest in being of service to the community, being able to preserve history.
So for me personally, when I first started in special collections, my specialty was ancient history. And I knew that I wanted to swap it into something else where I would be able to interact with materials from the time period. And one of the deciding factors in that was the strength and the quality of the medieval manuscript collection here at the Rare Book Library.
This is the recipe box of Gwendolyn Brooks. This box is part of her papers here in the Rare Book and Manuscript Library. And this object is what we call in the library world, specifically in special collections, a realia.
So this is a facsimile of Sir Isaac Newton's alchemical manuscript. And what a facsimile means is it's an exact copy of the original. So the reason why this one is a facsimile is because the original of this manuscript is currently in conservation, having some tender love and care done to it so that we can preserve it for future generations. And beautiful facsimile done by conservation here. You can see that they have even put in the same wear marks and rips and tears in the paper that would have existed in the original.
I feel that I have connection with Gwendolyn Brooks because I also like baking. She's so important, especially here in Illinois. She was the first African American person in general to be awarded the Pulitzer Prize. And she's so respected, and her poetry work is so seminal to her literary career. So, and here in Illinois, we have a very deep appreciation for her work, even more that we have her papers here.
Everyone knows Sir Isaac Newton, and he's this huge figure in like the history of science and things like that. But you don't often get to see him like this. You see him in a printed work or a text. This is his handwriting. This is his notes. He's scratching out these words, and this object just has this beautiful aura to it that you don't get when you're looking at a printed text. Yes, his words are amazing, but it's not the same thing as looking at his actual handwriting and how he put words onto a page, and that he was human and crossed words out when he made errors just like the rest of us.
I get excited just pulling the specific recipes that I know that she wrote on paper with her handwriting. It's just fascinating to see her thought process at that time. That makes me feel like closer to her.
So one of the really fantastic parts about this job is that not only do I get to interact with these wonderful materials and primary sources and objects and all of these types of things, but I'm also able to help other people interact with them as well. This is especially important when we're talking about things that fall under shared cultural heritage. I mean, a lot of people don't get to experience these type of things if they don't know that it's available. And we really like having people come in and access the material, and it's freely accessible, it's publicly accessible. And so being able to facilitate those connections between people and make these meaningful moments for them or help them to happen is really rewarding, and it's really a fantastic aspect of my job.
Some things that I really appreciate about being at the U of I. If there's sort of anything you want to learn about or really dig into, there's probably somebody who focuses just on that. So there's really no end to what you can really dig into, which is pretty great.
The work that I do is mainly about individuals with disabilities and their families. I got into the field because my brother Ryan has Down syndrome, and watching my parents and him kind of navigate different access to supports and services and kind of the troubles that they had, I became really interested in how can we support families and make the system work better for everyone. Since then, I have my own child with a disability who's 6. And so now I have an even more kind of immersed role in the disability community.
My son had a late diagnosis of autism. It was late in his 3rd year. There were some delays in getting him into a program with an IEP. I felt lost, and I felt like I wasn't doing enough. After I talked to Megan, I learned things that I could do, and that empowered me so much to be able to speak for him, where he has no voice. So now he is going to school 5 days a week. He was completely nonverbal, and as of maybe the last month and a half, he's consistently signing for things for me.
One area of research that Megan does is she has something called VAP, a volunteer advocacy program, where she teaches family members about their rights, what are their legal rights around their individual family members with disabilities, and she'll have some participants who will learn the strategies and learn about their rights, and then they will be coaches to other family members.
And I started a Facebook group for my community so that we could help each other and support each other and try to push for these kids that don't have a voice.
So she's able to connect with and influence a lot more family members because of the way she's developed her research project. Megan is also a really well-respected teacher in our department and in the College of Education.
I have worked with Megan for over 3 years. She was actually one of my professors before I started my position at Community Choices. She was not only committed to people being fully included, but she was so enthusiastic about it. And it was something that brought her so much joy to think about the ways that we could build a more inclusive community and do that in really authentic ways.
She has her undergraduate students doing a project in which there's a website that people can go to in the community to look and see how accessible restaurants are.
When we posted the website, we got lots of feedback. The Champaign Chamber of Commerce posted it on their website. Tammy Duckworth actually tweeted it out. I got a lot of feedback from the disability community saying, this is a really great website, this is really helpful, but also saying, here are some ways to improve it, or did you think about this? So my work is really applied in the sense that I feel like it's really important to be a part of the disability community.
Megan exemplifies an understanding of inclusivity that is beyond just physical accessibility.
That commitment to advocacy, that commitment to individuals with disabilities, and how do we do the things that we need to do to make life better for individuals with disabilities. That's at the core of who she is and the core of what she does.
So I think this Access and Accommodation Award is a perfect acknowledgement of all that she's done for the community, for the college, for the department, and for families.
Megan touched my family in a way that nobody else could. I couldn't thank her enough for what she's done for me and my family.
I'm Laura Garrett. I am a clinical professor in oncology. I am the service head of oncology and also the section head of specialty medicine. And the trial that our star today, Ducky, was involved in was a trial looking at a special compound that was created by the chemistry department here on campus to try to make tumors more sensitive to radiation therapy. So in some of the work we did in looking at that chemical compound, we recognized that it specifically affected certain types of cancer more than others, one of which was lung cancer. And that led to a trial looking at cats with lung tumors because it tends to be a very grave disease, does not have good treatment options, and it also could be a model for humans with lung cancer.
So Ducky is very friendly. I would say myself and most of my friends would call her half dog, half cat. So when you come to the door from being out, she'll run to the door like a dog to greet you. She's very happy. She hugs. If you pick her up, she'll put her paws around your neck and hug you. Really needs a lot of attention. So throughout the 11 years I've had her, she's always in somebody's lap.
Ducky came in to her vet initially for making these weird noises that she demonstrated nicely for us in the exam room. And when she was making those noises, and she was seen by her referring vet, the vet thought, this is a strange sound and we should take some chest x-rays. And that's how a lung tumor was initially found. And she was referred for our study. On follow-up, we re-CT to compare size of the mass about a month after the initial therapy. A month later, the mass hadn't gone away but was smaller, was actually very encouraging and supportive of the use of this therapy, that it's proof of principle, as we call it, that this drug alone can actually help shrink lung cancer.
After we got that taken care of, she has been her normal bouncy self and happy, and at times I almost forget that she had cancer because she's just so normal.
There's a large push on campus for looking at cancer therapies for people, and the collaboration with the College of Veterinary Medicine is growing all of the time. So there can be a societal benefit in spending the money and in working with these animals to help investigate new treatments for cancer. It also goes the other way, that was done on the compound was looking at cancer cell lines in other species, not just cats. And that's where it was seen that, oh, this lung cancer cell line seems to be sensitive to this product. So it is one of the things that may move into human trials in the future. It's still very early days.
One of the most interesting parts of the trial is that, number one, they rarely do clinical trials for cats for cancer. So this was kind of a very special group to be in. And number two, it's part of a bigger picture. I'm hoping it will help other cats. I'm hoping they can find similarities and differences between people and cats. So my hope is, more than anything, it's going to be a win all the way around.
Hey, want to see a cat video?
Yes, I do.
You have to see this one. I'll share it with you.
It's true. Without Illinois, we wouldn't have cat videos on the internet. Or the internet. At least the internet we all want. Or integrated circuits, flat screens, LEDs, browsers with pictures and video, YouTube, PayPal. And it all started with Illinois. Life's just better with Illinois.
We are the origin of ideation, the spark that births infernos, the wide-eyed, the chasers of dreams. We bring purpose to the challenge. We are believers who go beyond boundaries and break down barriers. We are tomorrow's business leaders, the pioneers of possibility, the influencers. We are the architects of imagination. We see progress beyond the possible. We don't play the game, we change the game. We are idealists in pursuit of making the world a better place. We are not alone. Together, the possibilities are limitless. We are the pioneers and innovators, the forward thinkers and collaborators, the leading edge, with the insight to inspire. We are the disruptors. We are Geese Business. This is the Disruption Lab.
Wow, that was intriguing. Geese is such a leading edge business school. I was told that this brand new Disruption Lab will prepare students for the challenges and opportunities that will shape businesses for the next generation. Well, we're nearing the end of the IlliniFest journey together, unfortunately. We're gonna wrap things up with a video that should get us even more excited about March Madness, and also some sounds of campus that may leave you feeling just a little bit nostalgic. Oh, and I should probably check back in with Chancellor Jones and see how his cookie decorating is going.
It took me a long time to actually come up with a decision. Yes, July 31st, when I ultimately did decide to return for my junior year.
It was really amazing. You know, I had a lot of love coming from the Illini fans, as you would expect. You know, they were there for me, they were cheering me on. Like, let's go, let's win this national championship. And that's exactly how I felt. You know, knowing that I have a winner coming back with me, the best point guard in the country, one of the best players in the country, in my eyes. And just knowing that we come back, we're veterans now.
And they announced that they're coming back. I'm like, we are definitely going to March Madness. There's no question that with these guys coming back.
Accomplish what I wanted to do, how I want to leave my legacy here at the University of Illinois, the best university in the world.
I think the one thing that we talk a lot about is playing for the guy to your right, playing for the guy to your left. And it goes beyond, you know, we do something really simple every day at the end of practice. We call them touches. And it's just a little fist bump, an elbow bump. They used to be kind of a hug and a dap. We can't do that anymore.
Through these tough times, you know, that where we can go out and socialize with other people, we have done that. We came together.
As bad as it sounds, I have to give credit to COVID. You know, COVID have allowed us to bond together. You know, we stayed together at the apartments, and it's given us the opportunity to bond together, know more about each other, learn about each other.
I really believe winning is hard. I think winning should be enjoyed. I don't think it should be something that is taken for granted. I don't think it should be something that is a relief. I think it's something that should be celebrated because it's hard and you have to work towards that. So I'm excited after games for them, and I want them to be thoroughly enjoying that moment.
I feel like any team, as it was the case with our team, even my freshman year or last year or this year, we are always confident, always expecting to win. If you're not expecting to win going into a season or a game, what are you doing?
We know what how talented we are, we know how good we are, so like just coming out and practice and doing it every day, just knowing the guys around you, knowing what they're capable of doing, that gives us like the confidence that we need. We have veterans, we have freshmen that's really, really good in Andre Cabello, Coleman Hawkins, Adam. So just coming out there knowing that we're that good and we're capable of winning national championship, that gives us that confidence that we could go out there and beat any team in this world.
We're playing for so much. Our goals are so much.
Just knowing that I have Ayo in my corner, I have these great dudes in my corner, Georgie, Ace, all these good players on my team, Jacob. Just know that we have this talented team and this love for each other that we can go out there and win the national championship. It's the greatest feeling ever.
Yeah, as we head into the second season, which is the most important one now. I'm excited as heck. I hope this is a deep, long run. The Illini Nation deserves this. Our fans are the best. We've missed you all year. Now we're going to try to make you as proud as we can of our team as we head into postseason play, not just in the Big Ten tournament, but in the NCAA tournament. ILL.
National championship, baby. We are striving for Big Ten championship. We are almost there, and we have everything we need. We're right there. It just has to happen.
So today is October 30th, 2020. It is exactly 100 years since the Altgeld Chimes were first dedicated. So today is the Altgeld Chimes Centennial Concert. We'll have the band out here in front of Alma Mater. I'll be up in the tower, and we'll be alternating sets of songs. And then we'll also play some songs back to back, kind of like a duet.
It's great being a part of history and the 100th celebration of Altgeld Chimes today. It's also been nice in my 4 years here. We've been able to see the university's 150th, the band program's 150th, and now Altgeld's 100th. And we're making our own history now, which is really interesting too in the times of COVID. So it's been quite an adventure.
It's really important to get to participate in this experience, and being able to participate in the Marching Illini at least once. This is probably going to be my final performance with the Marching Illini, and I'm just really honored to be able to participate.
Wow, we are really cooking with these cookies.
Good one. And it's so sweet of you to help.
Right back at you. Although, I'm taking a lot of time. We have a lot of work left to do. I have an idea. Why don't we call Coach Bielma and introduce him to the IlliniFest family?
That sounds like a plan to me.
There he is. Hey, Coach Bielma, thanks for taking time to be a part of IlliniFest.
Hello, Andrew. IlliniFest.
Hey, by the way, look who's here.
Hi, Coach.
Hey, Chancellor Jones, what you up to?
I'm just decorating some black-eyed cookies for our 475,000 alums, and we want to get them out before the start of March Madness. Do you have any strategies that might help?
I do. I don't know how much it'll help basketball, but I was thinking this might be a good design. I know the black eye is always good, but this is a little more scheme specific. For sure, a touchdown if you draw it up.
Great advice.
We are undefeated still, so I know that works right now.
We are undefeated, and we're going to keep it that way, right?
I like the way that sounds. We'll keep going as long as we can.
Coach, we have a lot of people watching tonight. Anything you want to say to the Illini family tonight?
Absolutely. Illini family, very excited to be here. We've got a great group of coaches. Had a signing class that came in, and we'll add to our guys that were already here, and excited to get through this fall, in the summer to get to fall camp and see exactly where we can take this team. I appreciate all the support, all 475,000 alums. Love to have every one of you here for a game.
I also want to ask you, too, about family. I know you're a Illini family as well as your own family. Very important to you. Family has a very solid meaning for you.
Thank you. I know I got a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old who would love to help with that cookie decoration, at least the eating part of it.
Let's talk a little bit about keeping Illinois kids in the state of Illinois. I know that's important to you.
It is. It's been an emphasis from day one. We really hit it as a staff and tried to continue it through the recruiting efforts. It's going to take all of us, right? It'll take every fan, every alum, every high school player, every high school coach. We needed to be here and be a part of what we're building here in Champaign to get to where we want to be.
Hey, while I have you all here, I think it's time to wrap up IlliniFest. It's sad to see it wrap up, but until we can all gather again together in person. Chancellor, how do you think we should end this?
Well, I have an idea. Everybody ready? Ready? ILL.
I-N-I.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Until we can all be together again in person, be safe and be healthy. And thanks for being with us tonight.